Everyone loves Blackwings.
That's a lie!
Everyone knows Blackwings. They're like your gym coach's prized athlete that nobody likes because he's a dickhead with 2 brain cells, but you have to deal with it because he gets the results. Later on in life you'll probably get mugged in some dark alleyway and realize he's the guy trying to steal your wallet because his life fell apart after being put on trial for DUI manslaughter. Here are some of the worst highlights of this hypothetical person's life. These 2 are not included as I already put them on blast half a decade ago, which really just makes it extra funny that there's still at least 10 cards that are just as bad. I can't be asked to arrange these in an order, but we're gonna zigzag between monsters and back row this time, so it's gonna be real colorful. Number 1! Monster design in the Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's era could loosely be described as a muscle fetish tragedy, and the Blackwing side of things in this trend is represented by Hurricane the Tornado, as opposed to Monsoon the Cyclone. It's a level 1 tuner with 0 attack and defense, and once per turn, it can take on the attack and defense of 1 synchro monster on the field until the end of the turn. I'll be honest, I like the idea of this because few things are as entertaining as a level 1 with multiple thousand attack points. Shoutouts to this guy. However, Blackwings would rather be using a level 1 tuner to go into synchros that have effects in addition to the attack, and unless you're trying to round up the world's most bird-brained OTK, there's literally no use for Tornado. Well, other than crashing into a synchro monster with effect protection, but like that's ever gonna happen. Number 2. Like poop. Blackwings have their fair share of back row, but the real garbage is mostly just found in the traps. Black Feather Beacon is a normal trap that lets you special summon a level 4 or lower Blackwing monster from your hand, but only after you take effect damage. I know DD Dynamite is a bit of a rampant problem these days, but somehow Blackwing Dragon is a better in-archetype response to it than this thing because it at least prevents the damage. At most, you'll be putting out a bird to watch the explosions happen before it turns into chicken dinner. So no, any fancy combos you prepare to use with Zephyros are not getting off the ground. Number 3. I've debated which Blackwing is just the worst version of Kalut to put on here, and while Damascus was tempting with his grand 500 attack boost,
That's the point of the mask is.
I ultimately decided on Etesian of 2 Swords. It's a level 3 with 400 attack and 1600 defense, and if a Blackwing monster you control battles an opponent's monster, and your opponent still controls that monster at the end of the damage step, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to inflict 1000 damage to the opponent. In addition to breaking the Blackwing naming convention of X the Y for no reason whatsoever, Etesian also provides nothing of value to your playstyle. Whatever battle was going on, the opponent has won and you get to lightly poke them as consolation. Even ironically calling this graveyard setup is an insult to all our beloved cards that make their home in there. Number 4. Blackwing Booby Trap is a normal trap that says, when this set card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, while you control a face-up Blackwing monster, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent and draw 1 card. This one's absolutely a linchpin in the legendary Blackwing artifact combo. I call it legendary because it's theoretically possible, but nobody's ever seen it in their life. As you can see, the 1000 burn damage duology sadly never caught on, and also there's no boobies. Number 4. Looking at the high-level main deck Blackwings always feels like encroaching on uncharted territory. Half because most of them look like they'll peck you to death, and half because you always find one you swear you never saw before. Hylian the Tengu Wind is a level 5 tuner with 0 attack and 2300 defense, and when you take 2000 or more battle damage from your opponent's monster's direct attack while this card is in the graveyard, you can select 1 level 3 or lower Blackwing monster in your graveyard. Special summon that monster and discard from the graveyard, but their effects are negated. Each player can only use the effect of Blackwing, Hylian the Tengu Wind once per duel. Thank you for the each player specification. My opponents are always jumping in joy at the prospect of activating their own Hylian after I play mine. It really livens up the locals. This thing needs to hit the graveyard in order to apply a total desperation revive, which might not even matter in the long run because the opponent can still run over the crap you summoned before the turn is over. I also don't understand the need for the effect negation, as if the revival was so good it had to have a trade away in addition to the once per duel limit. You ever heard of like Call of the Haunted and stuff? Number 6. Black Boost is a normal trap that lets you banish 2 face-up Blackwing tuner monsters you control to draw 2 cards. Black Boost asks an important question. Would you break both of your arms for $20? You can use those dollars to buy a nice stock photo of arms, so it's like you barely even lost anything, you know? That's it, I'm just done with this one. This deck is already consistent enough without having to shoot itself in the nuts for draw power. Next card. Number 7. Blackwing Elfin the Raven is a level 6 with 2200 attack and 1800 defense. It's 1200 defense, not 1800. Read your fucking cards, recheck your script. What are you doing? You've been at this for 7 years. How is it still happening to you? Come on! And if you control a Blackwing monster, you can normal summon this card without tributing. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls, change that target's battle position. If there's anything I can't stand, it's the Gaia retrained school of cards in which, when certain conditions are met, you can normal summon a shit monster with a garbage effect for no tribute. I get it, it was a different time, synchro laddering was more akin to synchro stumbling, and I'm sure this made for a wonderful combo with Blackwinged Strafe at some point to get rid of a crab turtle or something. Important playmaker, Elfin the Raven.
The Raven. The Raven.
Number 8. Black Thunder is, you guessed it, a normal trap, and it deals 400 damage to the opponent for each card they control after your Blackwing monster was destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard. Psych! We're back to the critically acclaimed Blackwing burn damage retaliation strategy. On the sheer amount of damage it can deal, it's probably the best one among the bunch, but it also effectively means it's just the least smelly turd. In case your opponent has 10 cards on the field and you have 2 Blackwings set alongside 2 copies of this and there's somehow no negation present on board, congratulations! You've OTK'd somebody in such a banal way it will probably make them retire from playing altogether. But after the 3,000 duels you spent getting there, was it worth it? Yes. Yes, it was. Number 9. Blackwings have had a few crappy synchros during their lifetime, but as much as I wanted to include one of them in here, I feel like their bootleg synchro deserved it a lot more. Aurora the Northern Lights
Aurora Borealis
is a level 10 with a question mark attack and 0 defense, which cannot be normal summoned or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one Blackwing tuner and one non-tuner monster you control, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. Once per turn, you can banish one Blackwing synchro monster from your extra deck. Until the end phase, this card's name and original attack become that monster's, and replace this effect with that monster's original effects. On one hand, I get it. Use a traditional pair of synchro materials as a shortcut to any synchro you need at the moment. On the other hand, emphasis is on the moment because you ditch 2 monsters and an actual synchro so you can have it for 1 turn and then never see it again. Why you would want to do this when you're already controlling 2 most likely suitable synchro materials is beyond me, but maybe summoning Notung when you can only make Armor Master can turn a few duels around. Maybe it gives you that extra normal summon you need for Elfin the Raven. Also, props for looking the most like a level 3 out of any level 10 in the game. That's gotta be some kind of achievement. There's nothing here to salvage, so let's wrap it up. Honorable mentions to Mistral the Silver Shield and Kochi the Daybreak, which are bad cards, but I can't give them too much shit because this is just how they used to make tuners back in the day. At least they made them back in the day. Number 10. Blackwing Backlash is a holy crap normal trap that says when an opponent's monster declares a direct attack while you have 5 or more Blackwing monsters in your graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls. Impressive. Very nice. Let's see their newer trap card. Look at that simple activation condition. The non-targeting, non-destruction removal. My god, it can even be activated from the hand.
I know it's been a long time coming, but I had to carefully review the data. I had to deliberate. And at long last, I've come to a decision. And I am pleased to announce that I would like to come out of the metal box, please. Thank you.